Alright, so this is Pokemon Weird Type Fun. I didn't do commentary for the first bit because the Manip is very difficult to hit. It's a 1 in 60 frame trick. But effectively what I did is at the start of the run when I confirmed my trainer name is it sets the trainer ID, and then when I check my trainer ID when I enter the game and enter it into a separate program, I can then look at a list. That's a really awkward crit. Look at a list of runnable Chikorritas, and I can pick which one I want to run. Okay, that's a good crit to finish. That may have mattered. And then based on the nature and IV restrictions that I've set, I can then aim for that specific frame. But it's a 1 in 60 frame trick, so it's very, very... Or yeah, it's 60 frames per second for the game and it's a 1 frame trick. So I said that really, really badly. So that's why I didn't start commentating until now. But really what I'm looking for my Chikorita is I want to have plus attack nature, but not minus speed. So that means I can't run Brave, but I can run the other 4 plus attack natures, Adamant, Naughty, and Lonely. I want to have 30 or better attack, which is near perfect attack. For Lonely, I want 14 or better defense, and for Speed, I want 27 or better. So it's pretty strict for 2 of my stats, and then the other ones aren't so bad, but it's still pretty difficult to find. Some trainer IDs just don't generate any Chikoritas with the stats I want within a reasonable time frame, so you just reset right away. Obviously, the main sort of elephant in the room is that, hence the title of the game, there are a lot of weird types. So there's a brand new type chart, 17-ish new types. Types match up differently. Each Pokemon has different types. They don't match up differently against each other compared to vanilla. So this is why I'm running Chikorita. It just does a really good job for a bunch of reasons. We'll get to a few more of them a little bit later, but it does a pretty good job. And we get to do some interesting strats as a result of... Because obviously it's going to have a different ability, and it's going to have... the base stats are still the same, but its types are different. The moves it learns are a little bit different as well, and that also plays into how this run goes. This Chikorita in particular is a lonely nature with 17 HP, 31 attack, 19 defense, 18 special attack, 30 special defense, and 31 speed. So very good speed and special defense. The defense is a bit on the lower end, but it's fine. It barely works for the run. This defense requirement is based on one particular fight later. Whereas if you have a particularly low defense IV on minus defense, you can just straight up die. So that's why I restrict to 14 or better IV. So I'm going to catch this. This is a Lotad. May not look like it, but it is definitely a Lotad. It's going to be my flyer. Good. And it's by far the best place to catch it is right here. You can catch it later, but at that point you're kind of over leveled, so it's actually really difficult to actually weaken it. And there aren't many other good backup options. So that's why I catch it here. My cut HM friend I can catch on Route 1, but there are a few options later, and obviously I'm going to be going for the later ones at this point because I didn't see it. But yeah, it's kind of a very similar start to Fire Leaf Green. We're going to get the parcel, return it, run from all of our encounters, catch an HM friend, learn how to catch Pokemon here, and head into Viridian Forest, where things are going to change a little bit right away after this old man tutorial. Oh my god, I talked to this guy again. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so the running shoes Professor Oak aid is here, which allows us to move a bit quicker from here until the first gym. So in vanilla, you get the running shoes after the first gym. Took a few extra tiles there. I hit that guy on a previous attempt. That antidote's probably not needed, since the Pokemon in here are not going to be able to poison me anyway. Also got to run from all these fun bug types. In fact, these Pokemon are not bug. A lot of them are the toy type. I'm going to pick up this potion here. Unfortunately, the potion in front of the trainer up here is not a potion, so I'm not going to be picking that up. It's actually not a very useful item. Alright, so this trainer is really interesting. This is Toy Boy Sammy. He is kind of annoying compared to his vanilla counterpart. I'm speed tied with this Badoo. So if he uses Bide, I have to be very, very careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tackle again. Actually, I tackled twice, and he used Bide right away. So I'm going to swap in my Lotad. I can take 2 hits of recoil or unleash return damage from this Badoo, but that's it. So that's why I swap. So ideally, I just see Leer. It doesn't have any physical moves. It does have one attacking move, which is Sneeze. Doesn't do too much damage. Ideally, I just want it to keep using... This should be safe here, even with Bide. Okay, good. So here I'm going to learn an extremely good move at level 8, which is Fury Cutter. And so Fury Cutter is actually pretty busted in this ROM hack. Its base power is 30 compared to 10 in earlier gens, and I believe that was increased to 20 in later gens. And like its normal counterparts, it does double in power each time you use it. And I don't recall where exactly it caps, but it does cap at a pretty high value, so it can be used pretty effectively. It's also super effective in this gym, which is super nice. As you can see, we're seeing some moves like Secure, which is effectively, I guess that's Defense Curl. I'm not really too sure, but it raises defense. But it's just going to one-shot this Paris right here. One thing I'm not sure about is whether I should heal for the gym leader. I'm going to not, because I have really good special defense. And so the gym leaders are actually like, they're from later gens. This is Rourke. Most of the gym leaders are just from later gens. There's one that's the same. But I'm gonna get Give this Paris 1 turn to do some damage, which is with Scratch. 12 is fine. HP. It'll level up once, though, which is good. So Eldegoss here is also a 2-shot. It also is outspeeding me. Okay, we're fine. Crit would have killed. Probably isn't the brightest decision to go for that, but... yeah, that's the first gym down. Okay, so I am going to be, compared to PB, I'm going to be pretty close, a little bit ahead, but PB actually caught both the HM buddies. So there's some really good early game splits on my first and only run of this game. So I'm going to go straight to the Mart. Eight of you. 2 of you. Get a heal there because very possible to, very likely to take damage, and I'm gonna have to heal anyway. So here's where like Fury Cutter is really gonna come in clutch. So these toy boys have toy types which are weak to night type moves, which is like Fury Cutter. Laser Pointer is not optimal. That's effectively String Shot. Now everything's going to be slower, and everything is going to get a chance to hit me. So that's really what I was kind of going for with the heal. Is to, if I got Laser Pointer, I'm not sure if an attacking move would have been enough to KO me there, but... okay, I get Laser Pointered again. Not that that matters. Okay, that's pretty much the only fight that's going to be a problem on this route. Even then, I wouldn't call it that much of a problem. And this fight is pretty much easy one shot for everybody because we're just building power for Fury Cutter here. So now it's 60 power on this Knockdown. 30 power wouldn't KO, but 60 does. That's an easy KO. So we're not going to learn Glare. And Rosalia goes down as well, so that's a pretty easy fight. And so with the IVs that I have, that Hoothoot is guaranteed KO. With lower attack, it would be a range. And now we're going to evolve. So Bayleaf is pure night type, just like Chikorita. I'm not a huge fan of this front sprite, but luckily we only see Bayleaf for 16 levels, so... So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the center. I used a lot of Fury Cutter PP, and I actually need to take a center at some point. This is the quickest center to take. Cerulean is a bit out of the way. And I'm actually going to do a quick menu, my menu here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a repel and equip the TM case. And then head into Mount Moon. And just like Vanilla, I'm going to dodge. Well, actually, in Vanilla, we do fight a trainer. Here, I don't need to fight anyone optional here. I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to pick up an Ether. Then I'm going to head into this basement area. Okay, Repel's going to run out, and I'm going to... Ideally, I'm going to catch a Paris here. Level 8 is fine. Weaken with Tackle. Foul Sting is awkward because I get poisoned. Okay, that's not great, but it's fine. And I'm actually going to repel again. Use that antidote that I actually picked up an extra one, but that's nice because the Paris can do some serious annoyance there with this rocket. Stop spinning. Alright, so now we're going to be coming up against our first, well, the only rocket we're going to fight in here. And he has a pretty annoying Pokemon. It is a Swablu. Okay, that's really annoying because I get an accuracy drop. It's like, that's pretty much Mud Slap, but I hit through, so it's fine. And so this nerd fight is just spam Fury Cutter. Pick up the fossil. Not going to worry about the fossil, we don't revive it, so it's not a big deal. I don't know why I took extra steps there. And I'm going to go to this move tutor and teach Lights Out, which is kind of like Mega Punch. It's a pretty useful move. It's needed on the next gym. I'm actually going to heal up for our next fight here. And if I didn't catch a Paris in Mount Moon, I would catch a Bergmite in the grass here. That's a great mon for using Cut later on. And I'm just going to go straight into the Rowel fight. The item behind the house here is not a rare candy, unfortunately. It'd be really good if it was, but it's not. Should have probably healed for this fight, or saved for this fight, but hopefully everything goes well. So I'm going to have to hit this Herdier 3 times with Fury Cutter. Play Rough is not great, especially if it does that much damage. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to swap. Actually, no, I think I'm fine. Yeah, I'm actually barely okay. So his starter is Piplup. Piplup is kind of annoying. It's kind of the main crux of this having Chikorita as your starter because it has Quick Attack and later on Extreme Speed. Quick Attack is super effective on Bayleaf. And in this particular scenario, max roll of Quick Attack would have done 20 damage, and I had 21, so it didn't go for it. But in a scenario where the Herdier uses Leer, very likely you're switching out and you're doing a pretty slow backup strat in order to finish off the Piplup. And that backup strat involves using Lights Out, which is 85% accurate. But that fight went okay. Double Play Rough is actually totally okay for the low defense that I do have. I'm actually going to do a quick menu here. I'm going to use a potion because I can take some damage later on, and I'm going to use this ether that I picked up on Fury Cutter. And I go into my next fight. So most of these fights are going to be just spamming Fury Cutter. I'm going to use Tackle a few times, Lights Out a few times as well. Alright, so yeah, things kind of didn't go great there. I got roared, which is something I've never seen before. Which means I shared experience with Paris. I could have maybe gotten out of it if I didn't use Foul Sting, and I just went ahead and used my other move. Don't think I need that. No. So there is an Oran Berry there you can grab for the gym leader, but my special defense is really good, so I don't need it. I am worried that I don't level up here. Nope, I don't. Okay, that's not great. So I need to. Really want to hit this lights out, which I do. So if I miss lights out and uses smoke screen, there is a backup, but I need to have the move I learned at level 23 in order to do that, and that's Flunge. So Flunge is pretty much feint attack. It's a 60 power knight type move, so we get stab, and also you get don't have to worry about missing, which is very good. So I am down a little bit of experience. I'm going to probably have to... I'll figure out a backup. It's not going to be ideal, but I have a backup plan for experience. Don't think it's going to matter too much for the fights coming up, but we'll see. There, we just saved Bill. I think he was trapped in the body of a Trubbish. We get the SS ticket, and now we're going to be on to the gym leader, which I'm going to save for. My PB did die to this gym leader, so there is a chance for a bit of time save. I think I should have actually... Alright, so this gym leader, I have to use lights out 3 times. If I miss on the second mon at all, it's very likely dead. The Spoink is pretty harmless, it doesn't have any good moves. But her second mon is very scary. It's a good crit. Probably one of the better crits in the run, actually. So despite having an absolutely horrible nugget bridge, I still got a gold split on this split, which is quite good. Alright, so Dig Rocket, he also has a Pokemon that I need to use Lights Out on. I'm not going to be using Lights Out too much more beyond here. There are going to be a few sections that I will use it. But that's mostly done. It's pretty much on the Karina split that I'm going to be using it the most. Alright, so we're going to be getting the Dig TM, which we'll be teaching later on to our Paris. and head over to Vermilion. If I can figure out where that staircase is. Grab this rare candy. So I am going to be cutting through the grass here. If I get an encounter, I'm actually going to knock it out for a bit of extra EXP, because I did miss out on a bit. I did take a couple extra steps through the grass completely by accident, but did not get an encounter. So this fight I have to Fury Cutter both of this guy's Mons twice. His second Mon is resistant to Fury Cutter, so it's going to take a little longer to knock out. Focus energy is fine. Then we're going to head over to the Mart. Thanks for blocking me. Appreciate it. Guess we're going to go on to the SS Anne. Not really going to do much here except fight the rival. Who's luckily not as scary as the second one. There's Prinplup. Prinplup does come with quick attack. It's just going to go for Bide. Not low enough HP to be really too worried about quick attack there. And now that my Fury Cutter's been powered up quite a lot, I can knock out the Skuntank with relative ease. Alright. Gonna get the cut HM here. I'm actually gonna teach those moves now. I'm gonna teach Dig first so that it's on the top. You could buy escape ropes. Escape ropes are a little bit faster, but money is quite tight. So it's you could pick up escape ropes, but you'd have to pick up an extra money item. I also took the med heal there. I want to restore Fury Cutter PP. That's the main reason for that. Now we're going to head over to Surge's gym. And so Surge is the only gym leader who is still here compared to Vanilla. Alright, I skipped a can there. That was... Okay, so found the first can. I did actually YOLO a pass there, which is really silly. That was also a risky pass. He did turn. Okay, this is Surge. He's got, he's packing the Love type, which is weak to Light, which is Lights Out, but I actually luckily don't need to use Lights Out for very much of this fight, just the first Pokemon here. Everything else is pretty easy to handle with other moves. So use a Pikachu, which I can just hit with Flunge. And so Raichu, who comes out next, is faster and has Double Team, and Lights Out can KO it. It's a 14 and 16 range. However, you really lose accuracy with Mega Punch, but Flunge ignores the accuracy drop, or in that case, the... Well, that's annoying. Never seen that before. Ignores the Double Team, evasiveness raise. So Flunge times 2 is just much more consistent. Now, however, I'd never seen Double Team before. Well, I have seen Double Team. I've never seen Secret Power before. Usually it uses a move called Sakura Kiss, which I guess is special type. And because I have very high special defense compared to defense, it went for Secret Power instead. It's very rare to run Lonely for this because you can only take like the top half of defense IVs. Whereas Adamant and Naughty, you can run every single IV. Okay, no encounter there, that's fine. I am paralyzed, so I prefer to not have to fight anything. But I am going to be menuing very shortly. I'm going to go pick up the bicycle. Go ride the bike. And fight the trainers here. Nothing too much to really be worried about here. There is a... one damage range on this fight. Which interestingly might be a little bit better of a range. Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought that I might not level up until the second Bellsprout. In that case, I'd get the EV for it later, but I still get it at the same time. So this Rabombi is a 10 and 16 range with Flunge, and we got it. Alright, so we are on the bug catcher, or toy boy here. Unfortunately, I have to use Flunge on the Knocked Owl because Fury Cutter does not KO, and this is kind of the moment of truth. I want to hit level 29 after this fight. I'm possibly not going to hit it. But if I do, then I am good. Okay, I'm good. I did not need to fight in the optional encounters. Alright, so the reason why that's so important is I will be candying here. I have 3 rare candies. I'm using all 3 of them. I'm also going to be learning a move at 31, which is Crunch. Crunch is Beast type, 80 power. Very, very solid move. And then I'm finally going to use my 3rd candy and evolve at level 32. And so here's where we get a really significant power spike. Firstly, we're going to gain the Beast type as our secondary type, which means Crunch is Stab. So we got a very strong move here. Also, Meganium's ability. I didn't talk about the abilities of Chikorita. It has 2 abilities. And then I want to Repel as well. It has Inner Focus and Hustle. And depending on which ability you start with, Meganium will have a different ability. So Inner Focus, or Hustle, which gives you a boost to your attack, or your physical moves, or the power of your moves, at a cost of a bit of accuracy. You end up with Shell Armor as your ability when you evolve into Meganium, which means you can't get crit. However, Inner Focus, which is the other ability Chikorita has, when it evolves, it gets Pure Power, which means its attack is doubled. Which means that instead of having 82 base power on Meganium, which is kind of mediocre, it's kind of average, nothing spectacular, we now have 164 base attack. Which means that for the next little while, almost everything is going to be a one-shot. And some fights where I had damage ranges before, I'm going to be tinkering with my stats a little bit using vitamins in order to make things not ranges, which also helps later on in the run as well. So we're kind of just going to be stomping everyone in the next little while. So through Rock Tunnel. Did lose a bit of time in there. I'm not sure where I lose time. I do know that I got detect from that one Lotad, and I got quick attacked by the Pachirisu, but that may be where the time loss is. Alright, straight to the game corner. Where, as expected, we will have a pretty easy time dealing with everybody here. One thing that's important to note is PP management's pretty tight. My goal is to make sure I have enough PP to last me through the next rival fight. Okay, so I don't need to get any other items here. Grab this for a candy. And pick up the calcium that's here. Fight these two rocket grunts. Calcium is going to be sold later for some extra money. It is the fastest money item in here that we can pick up. There's also a nugget and a PP up. They're both a little bit slower. I only need to pick up one item, so... Alright, so the next fight is against Lucamine. And this fight's really interesting. She only has 2 Mons. I think one of them is, like, glitched. She should have 3, and the trainer data... in Hex Maniac indicates that she has 3 Mons, but one of them's kind of glitched. So she only has two Mons, and they're both pretty weak, so it's a simple 2-turn fight. The Golett, I think, is her ace anyway, and so it's pretty easy to KO. Grab that Sylph Scope, and I'm going to dig out. I'm going to go get Fly. And I'm going to do something a little bit different to Vanilla Fire Leaf Green. I'm actually going to go right back to Celadon and fight the gym here now. Because we have a type advantage right now over this gym, so there's no sense in delaying it like they do in Vanilla. So this is the Magic Gym. And everything in here just drops to one-hit KO moves as well. Alright, so here's where something potentially could happen. And it did. So that's why I bought the burn heal earlier. And because being burned reduces the power of your physical moves. So I'm going to lose a bit of time here. It's a pretty short split with not much happening in it, and so getting burned is obviously a massive deviation to that. Oh, I'm saving more time because I delayed shopping as well. That's one thing I'm doing differently. So it's going to look like I'm really ahead, but I'm not. So the TM you get from her is actually really good, but we can't use it. It's like Thunderbolt. So we're going to go straight to Lavender. think that was the correct place to repel. We'll find out later. Oh, my repels were definitely off. Okay, that's fine. And so this rival fight is just spam Fury Cutter. And I have just enough PP to make this work. There's one potential scenario where I'm short one power point, and I haven't actually added that situation to my notes yet, but if that were bomb B from earlier, I'd miss the 10 and 16 range, then I have to finish it off with either lights out or I have to lights out something else. I think Litwick dies to lights out, so that's one potential option. Grab this elixir. So Marpel ideally runs out right before the spinner, but it's going to run a little bit earlier. Alright, so yeah, these fights are going to be pretty free. Gonna pick up the rare candy after this fight, and then the ghost Pokemon, which we have to fight, is actually an easy one-shot. Don't need to worry about anything there. In Vanilla, it's you can only knock it out if you're in Torrent, I believe. But I could just use Fury Cutter on it, and it's totally fine. And so these three rockets are all just simple one-shots. Fury Cutter everything for the first fight and the third fight, and then Crunch both Mons on the second fight. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be buying 3 proteins, which are very, very important. And I'm going to be buying X items. I guess I will only be using X items later. But yeah, so I bought some super repels and some proteins to boost my attack, as well as some X items. Not too many X items, because we're not really going to be using X items until the Elite Four, actually. Okay, so we're just going to run from this Turtonator. And I'm going to try not to hit these optional trainers here. I got lucky there that I stopped a bit early, but that's okay. Picking up a couple items on the cycling road here, so rare candy and a max elixir. Then I head straight into the safari zone. Gonna pick up a couple items in here. I'm gonna pick up the full restore. Pick up the protein. And of course, I will be picking up the gold teeth. Before grabbing our surf. Which I think is still called surf in this game. It is, okay. Whoops. And so unlike vanilla, where your cursor isn't immediately on fuchsia, you actually have to scroll to it in this hack for some reason. Alright. Now we're into the next gym. Don't remember what type these guys have, but all I know is I have super effective moves against, at the very least, the gym leader. So on this trainer, I'm going to be menuing, I'm going to be candying, negating him again. And in doing that, I will be ensuring that I get a perfect fight here. It also is going to help out for a bunch of fights later, but pretty much there's one Mon on this fight that would outspeed me if I didn't candy. I think it's her, yeah, her third Mon. And here's where my time is going to sort of rebalance because of the department store shopping being done now. So it would be this Cinccino that would outspeed. I think if you have like really good plus speed, you'd still outspeed at 41, but it's fine. They're just going to Fury Cutter everything. Alright, so that is badge number 5 done. Okay, my notes say do not say to go here, but I'm going to go here. But I do need to get this. Fly to Celadon and head over to Sylph. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a very nice little item down here called the Razor Fang, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Heading into Sylphco. And heading up to the 5th floor. Grab the card key and dodge the spinner. A couple more times. Please turn. Thank you. I'm going to grab one more protein over here. And I'm going to head over to fight my rival. So this fight should be pretty fine. This fight's also a bit buggy. It's kind of weird. So here's Empoleon. Empoleon has extreme speed. Didn't use it. That's totally fine. Extreme speed is going to be super effective, which is quite bad. And so the rival's got 3 pretty good Mons to start, and then for some reason he has 2 pretty weak Mons to finish. I'm not sure exactly why, but he has level 20 Eevee. Also, this is a different looking Eevee than the one we saw in Nugget Bridge. And he also has a Litwick. So now I'm going to go pick up the Drampa from this man here. And that's effectively Lapras. I'm going to be using that for turn. Turn, hello? For strength and surf. What's my attack? 31? Okay. Fury. Alright, so now we're about to go fight Lusamine again, who's effectively our Giovanni replacement. And so she's a little bit better here, but still a pretty easy fight. Two Parasects, which easily drop to Fury Cutter, and then she has Kangaskhan, which Fury Cutter should knock out. It actually barely KOs it. It has Endure as well, so that's something you can see, and it can waste a turn, but that worked out alright in the end. It's a bit of a menu here, so I'm going to teach Surf and Terraform, which is effectively Strength, to Drampa. Oh, it didn't matter. Shit. I should have just taught it to Drampa. You use all the proteins on Meganium. Alright, so we equip the Razor Fang. What the Razor Fang is going to do is it's going to give me a 10% boost to my Beast type moves. So effectively it's going to give me a 10% boost to Crunch, specifically. I'm actually just going to skip the split because the menu I did in PB, I did it before Larry, I believe. That's annoying. I think that's just a heal right now. That's fine. And then what's this shit? Crunch. And with all those proteins and the candies, this Draco's ult is a guaranteed knockout with Crunch. Alright, so we're going to head over to Cinnabar now. My speed is 31, so I don't need the Carbos. Alright. Straight to the gym. Where the answers are the same as vanilla, but the questions are, some of them are different. Not all of them. That one is the same. That one is different. That one is definitely different. This one is the same. And this one is the same as well. Alright, so this is Larry, everybody's favorite gym leader. So he leads 2 Fakemon. Poison point every time. The lead also has poison point, but usually I get it on the second mon. It's going to be time bleed as well. With all the proteins, the Soul Rock is guaranteed to get knocked out with Flunge there. Don't have to use Lights Out. Crunch. Yeah, I'm going to heal here, so don't need to worry about the poison. But firstly, I have to say no to Bill. There is an Elite Four round 2 you can do, but this run will not be doing that. Unfortunately, there's no catch requirement for it, so it's just really doing the side quests, and that's it. So a bit of a longer menu now, so I have to use a Super Potion. My last antidote. An elixir. Viridian. Alright, so this gym is not too bad. There's one Mon that is a two-shot, and then I have to use the lights out on one thing. And so the thing I have to two-shot is a thing I have needed to two-shot prior in the run. I just do not have enough power to get past the fact that I don't have a super effective move. So this Skuntank is a two-shot. Unless I crit, which I did not. Slash is interesting. Luckily, Ice Cube does not have its normal signature move or ability there, so I can hit it with a physical move. Alright, so Lusamine time. Good. And then everything else is just crunch, so it's an easy fight from here. Okay, good. Do a quick heal before Rival, because Rival is not too bad, but things can potentially go a bit weird. Okay. Don't do it. Good. So crit obviously kills. That's the one thing you have to be really mindful of. But don't have to worry about any priority from here. Okay, do not want to Fury Cutter that. So yeah, I probably didn't need to heal before Rival there, because Extreme Speed would have not killed me without a crit anyway. Then we're going to head straight into Victory Road. Whoops, I think I took an extra step. Yep. There is a strat you can do for the champ fight where you pick up a citrus berry here, but I've had mixed success with it, so I'm going to not get it. I do have the right stat line for it to potentially work, but the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab very awkward repel timing. Might be worth it to get repel a bit earlier, but it's fine. Oh my god. I used a super repel, right? Yeah, I did, okay. Here's the Moltres of the victor of the game, and it's much easier to get to. Okay, so Elite Four time. So the Elite Four is where I'm actually going to start having some potential difficulty. I'm going to actually save for the first trainer. Because PB, I believe, did die here. But I could be wrong. I only have 11 seconds of possible time save, so I probably didn't. But I do have to lights out the first thing here. Good, okay, so that should be a win from here. Unless I severely messed up. I have used the wrong move and died, so that's something important to keep in mind. Flunge that. So yeah, so Maractus has pretty much Fire Blast. It's super effective. It will pretty much do most of my health. I actually would be able to survive it because I've got good special defense. The Kingler has super effective physical move that can also KO. This Ludicolo always uses Fake Out, so you get a free setup turn. So use the next attack because you do need to be at +1 for the last two Mons. Like Vileplume. And Darmanitan, I have the speed threshold in order to outspeed it. And that thing has moves that can one-shot you from full, or from near full, because that's where I am right now. Okay, second trainer actually is the easiest, so I'm going to not save. Shimmer is fine. So, X-Attack, Fury Cutter, and Fury Cutter away to victory. So even though I have a not very effective Fury Cutter on Camerupt, it is still easy one-shot. And Volcarona is outspeeds, but generally just goes for Leech Seed, which does absolutely nothing. So I don't have to worry about that. So I might lose some time here because my previous strat was just Fury Cutter spam. Okay, about the same amount of time. Okay, Agatha is particularly gross, so I'm going to save here. I'm also going to heal. This fight has the potential to save a lot of time, as you can tell by my possible time save. And this fight is really the defense, where the defense threshold comes into play. So ideally, the fastest way to win this fight is to spam Fury Cutter and hope that the Torterra does not use an attacking move. If it does, I have to swap out. If I crit here, it's also very good. Oh, that's so good. I think that is fine. That's also a range to crit kill. Actually, no, I think it's scared. No, I think it's a range. So this Dragapult it outspeeds. It has extreme speed. But because I have not taken any damage, it's just going to set up Battle Dance, and Fury Cutter should knock it out. Yep, okay, so this fight's fine. So that is possibly the fastest way that fight could have possibly gone. And everything else is easy one-shot. Super effective on Garbodor, and then 4 times super effective on her final Mon. Alright, this fight is particularly scary. So I'm gonna Super Potion again. Max Elixir, and I'm going to save. Okay, so Gita here, she leads a Pokemon with Intimidate, and I want to get rid of that, so I have to swap immediately. It also has very strong moves. Okay, it hits Sun Kick, that's fine. X defense. I'm going to be X defensing twice. Sun Kick will do more than half here for sure. Yeah. That's 3. Luckily, it only has 5 Sun Kicks, so Sun Kick is Mega Kick pretty much. It's going to actually probably go for something else now that I would low HP. Hades Trap, yep. This is effectively something weird, I don't know what. X Speed. Good miss. That's 4. 1. That's the last one. 2. Good heal just to be safe. Because a crit from triple kick is pretty bad. Gonna go 1 more X attack. Okay, that's a really slow setup, but totally necessary. Most of my X items are going into this fight. And so the guard spec's going to come into play here. Her ace has Intimidate also, and I need +3 to KO it. And it is faster to guard spec versus X attack again. Now, would like to flunge it, please. Oh my god, I went into bag. Alright, so this fight, I should save for it, but I am at sub 2 pace, so I'm going to just go straight in. So her lead, or his lead, I should say, outspeeds. I want to see one specific move and not another move. Okay, return is perfect. Okay, that can only kill if it crits. Good. Okay, so now I have to set up on the final thing, but what I have to do is I have to heal right away. It should go for... Blood Strike, that's a good miss. So I'm going to hit it with Crunch to start. Okay, Reflect Rain is fine. He's going to heal here, so X speed. I should have X attacked, actually. I have to crunch it again. That was a mistake. I should have X attacked. So it has Geyser, which is effectively... Oh, wow, that's a scary crit. That's a very scary crit. I'm actually going to... She should heal again, or he should heal again. Should be fine, though, as long as I crunch, which I do. Okay, Flunge. I'm going to just miss sub 2, unfortunately. Definitely didn't misplay, I just got a little unlucky with the crit. But a very good run nonetheless. Cannot complain about that. But the defense drop was kind of scary at the end, but... So I'm not sure if my PB had deposited a bunch of things. Might have, given I saved time on the first Elite Four member. But yeah, that's weird type fun. I'm going to definitely be uploading this, because it's an offline run. But yeah, glad my commentary ended up being useful in the end. This is mainly practice for a marathon. It's coming up. So it should be a 2:00 30-ish. Although actually, yeah, I can't deposit anything going into Elite Four actually. Because if on the champion, if I get hit by Relic Rush, which is effectively Bone Meringue, I have to actually swap out on Empoleon and heal to full, which involves sacrificing my last two HM Brens. And so you can't kind of just risk it and go in with just the one HM buddy you sacrifice on Gita, but that's extremely risky. You don't want to do that. But yeah, really solid run. I'm pretty happy with that. Um, Lost time on the champ due to getting some kind of bad luck. So the Jellicent ideally just goes for Geyser, and Geyser does very little damage once you've weakened it. That was the whole point of using Crunch. Um, but other than that, everything went fairly well. I can't really complain about any of the other splits. I mean, I lost time in Mount Moon, but could save some time by not getting as many encounters in Forest. But I think if like you cut out all the safety saves, you might have a shot at sub 2 with this. But the sum of best is definitely inaccurate here. But that's definitely a good enough run for now. So we'll get this uploaded, and hope you enjoyed the run and the commentary.